Hi everybody, it is the 7th of August 2019, and that means we've got version 1.04 for the Xbox on the PlayStation, and what we've got here are the patch notes, which I thought I'd read through and illuminate you on the changes, the massive changes, the improvements that are coming from DayZ on console. Initial reports are the game is playing more smoothly than it used to, which is good, and the private servers are up and running. I've only just gotten from work, and I don't know why it happens, but I've had my PlayStation in standby mode, but it still didn't download and install the update. I think it's something to do with the application still being open in standby mode. But anyway, let's get on with the patch notes. So, Xbox PlayStation Update 1.04, posted by Tim on August the 7th, 2019. Hello survivors, the 1.04 platform update of DayZ on Xbox and PlayStation is now live. This update is a combination of the 1.03 and 1.04 updates on PC, that is. The comprehensive new update brings you an expansion of the disease system and gives purpose to several medical items. On the combat side, we've added 2 new assault rifles from the trusty KA or AK family, the factory suppressed VSS, fantastic weapon in PUBG, as well as an arsenal of grenades as survivors discover their ability to throw items. Furthermore, the update includes NVGs and the universal flashlight, NVGs being night vision goggles, to your tactical helmet. So if you're wondering what that bracket was on the front of your tactical helmet, you can now put something on it. And 2 brand new belt models. Moreover, the infected have upgraded as well. So we start off with a new vehicle, the Gunter 2. The Gunter 2 is a small first-generation family hatchback with front-wheel drive. I think we can all agree that looks like a Volkswagen Golf. New weapons, the VSS, selective fire, integrally suppressed marksman rifle fed from a detachable magazine, compatible with KA scopes, using 9x39mm rounds. Now, what's special about the VSS in PUBG, and hopefully this will be what's the same on DayZ, is that this is an incredibly quiet weapon. So when you're firing it, hopefully not only will you not attract hordes of zombies to come and attack you, but whoever you're firing at will not have a good idea of which direction they've been shot from. I'd imagine they'll still be able to hear the suppressed fire, but it will be muffled enough where you can still keep your position a secret. We move on. The KA-74. The KA-74 is a selective fire assault rifle fed from a detachable magazine. It was introduced in the 1970s as the replacement of the KAM. With compatible attachments, it uses 5.45 by 39mm rounds. So I hope you're keeping track of all these different types of ammunition that we've got to do. 5.45 by 39. Okay, so is that another one? I'm not sure. Okay, the KA-101 is a selective fire assault rifle fed from a detachable magazine. This is an export version of the modernised KA-74M with compatible attachments. It uses 5.56 by 45mm, so that's using the same bullets that you put in the M4 or the M1A4. So what is M1A4? You know what I mean. New and improved weapon attachments: regular and armour-piercing 9x39mm ammunition for the VSS. Tracer variants for 5.56 by 45, 7.62 by 39, 7.62 by 54mm R, and .308 Win. So that might be pretty cool. So at night, or even during the day, when you fire your bullets, you'll be able to see them whizzing across the map towards your enemies or those zombies. We're getting the Baraka sights. We're getting the backup iron sights, the BUIS. The PSO 1-1 scope designed for the VSS. And we're getting bayonets for the KA, the M4A1, the Moisan 9130 and the SK 5966, because as you can see next, we can now do melee attacks with firearms, knocking enemies back. So on the Xbox you press X or square on the PlayStation while you've got a raised gun. So I guess that's as you aim down sights and then you dunk and you can knock them back, as we can see in this. We now have the ability to break open lock doors with force. I imagine that makes a lot of noise. And players can now throw items. So you double tap X on the Xbox or double tap square on the PlayStation, and that will put you in a throwing stance. And at that point, as far as I understand, you can throw anything that's in your hand. Okay, so I'd imagine that you can throw your rifle, you can throw your trousers, you can throw your backpack, you can throw anything. So I would have thought the way that grenades will work is you'll put the grenade in your hand, you'll press probably R1 or left trigger to pull the pin, then you'll double tap square or X to go to the throwing stance, and then you'll throw it. So there's quite a lot of steps. I think quite a lot of people are going to probably die to grenades cooking too long and exploding, but hey, it's all a bit of fun. Clothing. We're going to have a new belt, which is going to be able to carry a knife sheath, a gun holster, and a canteen. And as you can see here from the picture, the universal flashlight and the new night vision goggles can be attached to the tactical helmet. Chem light and the handheld transceiver can now be attached to most backpack stripes. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that means, but I guess what that means is if you get when they say chem lights, they mean the glow sticks, don't they? So I guess what you would do is you would crack a glow stick and attach it to your backpack, so that if you're traveling at night but you don't want to be using a flare or a torch, and you're traveling, say, in a group, the lead person who maybe's got night vision goggles on, or is following a trail, that everybody else behind them can see that the glow stick glowing without attracting enemies from a further distance, as you do if you're using a torch or a flare. On to zombies, the infected. The infected can now spawn with headgear and other attachments, and as we can see in this picture, the zombie's got a rather natty hat on and, importantly, a backpack. Wonder if the backpack's going to have stuff in them, hopefully. Medical additions, fever, and we've got the effects and balancing for epinephrine, codeine pills, morphine, and charcoal tablets. Shoes will now gradually wear off while using, so that's a new thing. And the check pulse action now displays blood pressure and pulse type if irregular. Yeah. As far as inventory goes, this is a really big thing. Independent shoulders allow you to carry 2 melee weapons or 2 firearms. That's brilliant. So you can have your close range submachine gun or shotgun on one shoulder, and then your assault rifle or your sniper on the other shoulder, without having to put them into your backpack. So this is very, very important, I think. Or I can imagine what I will probably do is I'll have a spade on one shoulder, my sniper rifle in the other, my shotgun or my submachine gun in my hand, and I'll leave enough space in my backpack so I can put my shotgun or my submachine gun into my backpack, to swap over to things like knives or what would happen is, yeah, if you had a spade, you could swap the spade for your submachine gun or shotgun for your melee, and then use that, couldn't you? Yeah, it's much better. It will stop you getting killed in that situation where you get into a zombie fight and you go to equip your knife and you can't because there's no space for you to get rid of your main weapon. Now, this is a big one. Server hopping mitigation. To avoid players switching servers rapidly to farm the same hotspots multiple times, we've implemented a mitigation that will reset your character's position to a random spawn at the coast when you decide to switch your server. You will receive a warning about that during your login time. Now, this isn't just going to affect people who are farming loot or trying to exploit glitches to dupe. This will affect lots of other people as well. Because what's going to happen now is when you quit out of a game and then you join back in, if it's within a certain amount of time, you won't go to the same place. You'll be put on the coast somewhere. So imagine you're in the Northwest Airfield or the Northwest Military. Say you're in Tizzy Military Base, right up in the Northwest, and then you go to log in again. Say you're in the woods and some wolves come, and you're like, oh my god, I want to get away from these wolves. So you just quit out, and I think that's fair enough because wolves are overpowered and it's too difficult to kill them. Quit out. If you then choose to get back in again quickly, you'll then end up on the coast, a long way away from where you started off. So this is really good because it stops people server hopping and doing the military base again, or doing the airfield again, and just hoarding loot from places. But it does mean that situation where say that what we do is, say you're playing as a group and it starts getting dark, you're like, okay, we don't want to play in the dark because it's bad for the stream, you can't see anything, and it's bad for us as well because we're more likely to get killed by zombies. It's not as much fun as playing in the daytime. So we quit out, and if we all try and join back in again, we're probably going to end up at different locations all along the coast. So we're going to have to see how this one goes. What we want it to be is a solution to duping. If it's a solution to duping and it stops duping, fantastic, because that's what we want. We don't want people to have the ability of, I found a KA assault rifle or an M4A1 assault rifle, and now I can make 10 of them by duping, which then means that on that particular server, you will never ever find that gun again, because that one person has got them, they've buried them in a barrel at the corner of the map, and you're just never going to find them. Patch notes. Okay, here we go. In case of problems, please check the Bohemia Interactive Report, and you can help them with their feedback tracker. Right, so now we kind of list some stuff they've added. They've added the ability to browse and join the private servers, added localization for traditional and simplified Chinese, added Japanese, Polish, added the new vehicle gun to 2, added the VSS, added the K74, added the KA101, added bayonets, added the scope, we've talked about all this stuff already. Added 4-dial combination lock, added strawberry jam, added handheld transceiver and glow stick attachments on backpacks, added "You Are Here" marker on each tourist trail map. That's big for me. So when you find one of those big maps, you can now look at it and it'll tell you where you are. Where before it didn't help you. It just gave you a nice picture of Chernihiv to look at. But now you can say, oh, that's where I am. Added the baseball nailed bat, added more sounds for death animations, added sounds for suicide animations. Various stuff. Added the wooden crafted crate. I imagine you could then bury that. This is another one. Sliding down a ladder without gloves or with ruined gloves can cause a bleeding source. And also, while you slide down ladders, that will cause damage to your gloves. I'd agree with that. Yeah, because sliding down is good fun, but there is now a cost to doing that rather than just climbing down. There's music in the main menu now. Mitigation of so-called server hopping, which we've talked about. Support for multiple sets of player spawn points. Fever now causes dehydration. So when you get ill, say you've been out in the rain too long and you get a fever, you'll now need to drink more water. I can never say this. Epinephrine restores the patient's stamina to its max value. Codeine pills, which are painkillers, mitigate the patient's injured state for a limited time. So if you get injured, you take your codeine or you take your morphine pills, and then you'll feel better while they're kicking in. But when they've run out, you'll then feel bad again. Charcoal tablets eliminate salmonella bacteria, and the check pulse action now displays the blood pressure. Stamina is depleted if a player is hit by a flashbang. Shoes gradually wear. Infected sometimes spawn with headgear, vests and backpacks, and they've added a flare effect around the road flare. And they've fixed many things, which I won't go into. You can check them down below. And they've tweaked a lot of stuff as well, which I won't go into. The known issues they've still got, which you may well come across. Night vision goggles and helmet lights cannot be switched on. Swapping items between your hand and the inventory of a corpse can result in items being stuck in the corpse inventory. And opening the online tab in the You Are Dead screen gets the game stuck. So they're things and bugs that could still happen but will be fixed in a future hotfix. So there we go. That is the note and the patch notes for the brand new Xbox and PlayStation console update 1.04. Get it downloaded, get into Chernihiv, and yeah, let's get playing. Let's see what this patch is like. Fingers crossed it's going to be smoother and better, and there's going to be more good loot around. Remember, if you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe. You can come and join our Discord. You can support the channel through becoming a YouTube member. I think it says join somewhere on the YouTube screen. We can nip on over to Patreon and subscribe that way too. Thank you very much, and I will see you again soon.